Happy Saturday. I have no idea where we're at with the vlog, so this could be the start of one, this could be the end of one, I have no idea. But last night I spent some time finishing. So I first finished stitching, so a lowercase f, the Catstone Haberdashery canvas. And then I uppercase F finished 2 of the Magnolia Needlepoint houses. So I did Thankful and Spooky, and I finished them into little refrigerator magnets. They are just adorable. And I posted them on TikTok, got a ton of questions about them. So I'm going to do another one today and post that. I think the most confusing part is adding the magnet, and I didn't really do it in a fancy way. I just used hot glue and glued it to the mat board. But just gonna work on some finishing. Finished my little USA, so now I have 3 refrigerator magnets. All right, just finished my finishing. Here is the round that I did. I think she's so cutie. So in total, I finished 2 last night and 2 today. I don't know what got into me, but now I need to do some sort of inventory on where I'm at with all my needlepoint. I've finished a lot this past month. I finished so many that I can't even name. So I need to see what things I have left with stitches in them. And then I kind of need to reprioritize what do I want to do next. So let's look. All right, so this is my needlepoint cart, and I usually have my projects that are actively going in this top area, but I don't know that any of them actually have stitches in them. So there's this one for my dad, which I definitely want to get working on. His birthday is in November, and I want it finished into a pillow. So that one's definitely high on the list. Now this one, I don't have any stitches in yet, but I painted it when I was in Nashville with the Bookish Stitchers. So this one can definitely be on the list of things to do soon, because I feel like if I wait too long, I'll lose interest. So we can keep that one up there. Then, yes, we have Miss Ina, but again, she doesn't have any stitches in her yet. She's kitted, but I haven't actively started her, and I think I haven't done anything yet just because I know I want to do some complicated stuff. Like, I bought a ton of fun thread to work with, and I want to do Alicia's lace on the background. So she has not been started yet. So again, that's 3 that don't have any stitches in them. A 4th that doesn't have any stitches yet, this little TN that I painted as a bag patch, but that one should be quick. Then this is a series from penny lin that I put on bars and have kitted, but none of them have stitches in them. So it's like these little DC ones. So I'm like, do I have any whips? Let me see. There's one left. And this one is like a permanent whip, so I don't even know that I count it. I started this sometime last year, and all I've done is T-stitch. Please. All I've done is T-stitch up until this point, and I think it's just a mental block for me at this point. So, I mean, it would be great if I could get some more done on this, but my motivation for her is not very high. So I guess we get to pick our next project. Let me see. Maybe I'll start the bookish stitchers. I should pick a background stitch for her. And I got Dinky Dyes, but I don't know, it's pliable, but I don't know how many like pieces you use. Let's find out. Sitting on my counter was this one, and it looks finished because it was, but the frame that I need to put it in has a bigger spot, so I need to add extra stitches to the top and the bottom. So I think I'm gonna do that now, just so I literally only have one whip. I totally thought that was gonna take like an hour. I think it's 3 hours later and I finished it. So now I'm going to prep this just by basically taking it apart and Windexing the glass and letting that set overnight so I don't get the needlepoint wet. But I just wanna make sure that with the mat you can't see anything. Oh, yes. I think that's perfect. Yes, that's gonna be perfect. I feel like you can see a little bit where the line is, but like, I don't care enough to start over. So, it is what it is. All right, I didn't actually let it set overnight, just like a few minutes. And I think it's so cutie. I'm so proud. I basically just used tape and taped the canvas to the mat. I didn't even have to cut it. So if I ever want to change how it's finished, then I can. But I think it looks so good. My plan is once I have my Georgia Tech diploma, I'm actually moving, so it won't be here, but that's my Penn State diploma. I'll have my Georgia Tech one. And then I want some needlepoint to go with like my university stuff. So this is the first piece of that. Happy Sunday morning. I'm going over to my friend's house to stitch today. So I thought I would show you guys what I'm bringing. So in my cute Nash bag, I have the Bookish Stitchers canvas that we painted when we were in Nashville, and I kitted it at Nashville Needleworks in Dinky Dyes. And then, so that's 18 mesh, and I thought just in case I got bored or wanted to work on something else, I brought my little Nash patch that I painted. And I kitted that in Pepper Pot. And in terms of tools and such, I'm bringing my 2 books. So I have both versions of this, I guess, Needlepoint and Next Level Needlepoint. I really need to go to FedEx and have them put on like rings. I've seen other people do that and it seems so much easier because then you can like have the book open. Like with the way it's bound right now, if I open it to a page and I walk away, it just closes. So I need to do that. But then I brought my neck lamp, and then in this little pouch that my sister got me, I have an Ort catcher, scissors, and a threader. So that's everything I'm bringing to Stitch Day. Just got back from Corinne's. I did some stitching on my Bookish Stitchers canvas. I did the Parisian stitch, and I honestly think it looks fabulous. And I'm not minding the stranding for the dinky dyes. I think it actually is a really nice silk. And then on my way home, I went to the FedEx and had them spiral bind, whatever, my needlepoint books. And honestly, I highly suggest. It was $12 for both books, which I think is pretty good. They had to, which made me nervous, they had to cut, like, obviously the original side off, and he was like, you're gonna lose, you know, however much, and he showed me, and I was like, that makes me a little nervous, but do it anyway. And it's honestly fine because the stitches like weren't all the way in the edge of the book, so they look great. I'd highly suggest. Happy Tuesday. I am going into the office today. Busy, but I wanted to show you the progress I made on the Bookish Stitchers oval, I guess. So I finished the background like a day ago, and last night I was working on the basket weave there, and I think it's looking stunning. I'm a little nervous that I'm going to run out of thread. This is what I have left. Like, it is strandable, so it's more than it looks, but a little nervous that it's not enough. If it's not, I'll call Nashville Needleworks and see if they have the same dye lot. If they don't, I guess I'll take a gamble and try a different one. I do think it's really cool how the color looks different based on how it's stitched. Like, it looks lighter in the Parisian stitch than in basket weave, which I think is kind of cool and gives a nice effect. So yeah, that's what I have been stitching. Yeah, that's my update. I just picked up my mail, and I got this disco pumpkin. Sweets, do you have to do that while I'm filming? She said, yes, Mom. Yes, I do. I got this disco pumpkin from Mimi's Needlepoint, and they wrote me such a cute little note. I have been obsessing over this canvas ever since I saw it on their TikTok, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I could see a stand-up, maybe a frame. I don't know. If you have any ideas, comment below. But Miss Schweetz. What? But what? Apparently someone needs my love right now. Say hi to the vlog. Oh, you're stuck in my necklace. Say hi to the vlog. Say hello. Unfortunately, I just lost thread chicken. As you can see, this area is not stitched and I don't have any more of that thread. So I ordered some online. I didn't see a dye lot on the little label. So I'm hoping that what comes matches. If it doesn't, I don't know what I'm gonna do about that because there's no way I'm going to basket weave that entire background again. So we'll see, fingers crossed that that matches. And yeah. Tomorrow is Christmas in July, and I've decided to throw a Christmas in July stitch-in bitch with 5 girlies in the Northern Virginia area. So 2 that I met at the Charlottesville Spring Fling Stitch Retreat earlier this year, 2 girlies from TikTok, and then 1 that I met on the Nashville Stitch Retreat. So only 2 of the girls know each other, so I think it'll be a really great time for just a bunch of people to get to know each other and stitch on my rooftop. So very excited for that. I bought just some Christmas colored stuff. So red napkins, green plates, and then just like normal cups. And then tomorrow I'm going to go to Trader Joe's and get Christmas cookies. I kind of want to make like a Christmas cookie tray. Yeah, and I'm really, really excited about it. For the stitch-in bitch, I obviously want to stitch a Christmas canvas because it's Christmas in July themed. So I wanted to look through my kitted canvases and see if there were any that I really wanted to do. And then I also brought out my stash because not only do I want to look for something to stitch tomorrow, I also want to pull out some of my like fall themed canvases because it's almost fall. So let's look and see what we've got. This could be cute, a little stocking for Schweetz. This is one of the fall canvases I'm going to pull out. I bought this at the end of fall last year and I love it. I want to make it into a stand-up. I just think it's so perfect. I kitted the entire thing in silk and ivory. This is another fall canvas. Hallowed Be Thy Ween. I want to turn this into a pillow. I already have the fabric for it. So I'll pull that one out. This canvas, I am so excited to stitch. I kitted the entire thing in like specialty threads. How stunning. Like the whole thing is gonna be sparkle, furry, you know, all sorts of crazy fibers, and I'm beyond excited about that. Okay, so in terms of kitted canvases, just the one, it seems, for Christmas, and then 3 big ones for fall. So now I need to go through my stash. I know right at the top of my stash that I want to do this Christmas cracker before Christmas because I've done 5 other ones. I just need to check my stash. I know I have the right red and green that match the other ones, and then I'll probably use like a white silk lame on the little snowman, but I don't know if I have that blue, but I'll check. All right, I have kitted all the canvases that I pulled, so let's go through what I've got. So tomorrow for my Christmas in July, I'm either going to stitch this cutie little guy. I pulled everything from my stash except for the Silkome braid that I purchased when I purchased the canvas. So I have the Silkome braid in 57. And then I just pulled some white pepper pot beads for the little like icing. So I have red and green beads. And then I did essentials for the rest. So a bunch of brown tones, otter, cocoa, lentil, creme brulee. So I love all of those tones together. And then these are probably my two favorite essentials colors, cardinal and carnation. These little gumdrops they're red gumdrops and they have a little bit of pink in them. So thought that would be perfect. So I'm either gonna stitch that tomorrow or I'm going to stitch the Christmas cracker. So for my Christmas cracker, I had stitched the previous Christmas crackers with this pepper pot, mercury, and gumdrop. So I'm going to continue those colors. For the blue, I grabbed wind in pepper pot. Then I picked up both my black beads, the little ones and the bigger ones. So I'm not sure, like the little cardinals have black eyes, and then the snowman, he has like, you know, little cold nose, whatever. So I was like, maybe I'll use the bigger ones for the snowman and the little ones on the cardinals. We'll see. And then just for his little twig arms, pepper pot latte. For the snowman himself, SLO2. And for his nose, mango. So those are my options for tomorrow. Oh, I actually have another option. I forgot. I also have the little stocking guy. So he's got a lot more going on. But again, I kitted this one entirely from my stash. I think the only things that I had purchased when I bought the canvas were these. So the background blues and this like yellowy goldish color. So the pepper pot is in drift and harbor. So these are those background colors. Oh, they're flipped. And then this like orangey yellow SP219 for the windows. I think I want to get like yellow ribbon to put on the wreath. So I'll have to pick that up at the store. Sweets. What are you doing? What are you doing? So I don't have yellow ribbon. I'll have to buy that. But then from my stash, I have this Boucle 99 that I want to use on the wreath. Then for the trees, I have French bean and pepper pot. And they have a few dots painted on the trees. I don't really like their colors, but I have this like house blend of beads that I think is super stunning. So I might just like pop some of those randomly on the trees. And then for the dogs themselves, I have Dingo and Otter essentials. Then obviously for white, just like pepper pot white. My two favorite grays for the little like concrete in front of the door, I have Dolphin and Whale. Just for some random other spots, pepper pot, I have Chili, Claret, and Toasted Almond. So that's everything for my little dachshund. And then I love that these stockings come with the little guy that you put in them. Like that's gonna be so cute. Now for my fall canvases, which I'm so excited about. First up is this Jenny Henry printed canvas. I think this was the first printed canvas that I ever bought, but I obviously haven't stitched it yet. I kitted this last year when I was a very new stitcher, but it's mostly in silk and ivory. I think there's one that's like a Planet Earth silk, but let's go through the colors. So tangerine and acorn squash. Then we have dolphin, sagebrush, oats, toast, cherry tomato, blue yonder, mouse, chocolate, and relish. So those are the colors for that. And then there's the cute little like wood piece. So this is Planet Earth silk in sauna. So cutie cutie. Then for Hallowed Be Thy Ween, I already bought the fabric beforehand, so I matched impressions to it for the background. This is impressions in color 1035. So that'll be the background. And then for the weens themselves, I have essentials in penny peanut butter and then black. Then for the little pumpkins, I have Satsuma, and then this little Krynic for like the eyes and mouth. And then I have white pepper pot for the angel outfit, and then some gold Krynic high luster for his outfit, which I think will be stunning. And then for the other ween, I have this red for like the devil ears and stuff. This is SL144. And then finally for the letters, I have SL01, the black Silkome braid. Then finally, for the most stunning canvas I've ever seen in my life, this is a big one. I honestly don't even remember where all of these threads go, but I guess I'll find out when I start stitching. Let's see. I know for the background, I have this Vineyard Silk in Misty. So it looks like I got 4 skeins of that. Just like a really nice, barely green. Because I didn't want to take away from the canvas because there's going to be so much going on. All right, I just played with Schweetz for a little bit, so maybe she'll give us a few minutes. So in terms of the fun threads, Fuzzy Stuff 02. Then, is that 15? I can't read. Yeah, 15. Arctic Rays 7. I think this is for a spider web. SL229. Whisper 95. I think this is for the bats. Maybe the bats. Fireworks 11. Neon Rays 97 and 92. Then Reflections in Aura. I've never used Reflections, so I thought it would be fun to try it out. Then 2 Essentials colors, Cress and Mojito. Then we've got 2 Krynics, 8 High Luster, and 27. Then a little Threadworks. I don't know if that's, is that the color? 710, 710? I believe for the Dachshund, I got 3 different Gloriana colors, and I was gonna try to do some sort of interlocking goblin or something and do just like random stitches of certain colors. Like her chest is a little lighter, so maybe use a little bit more of that color there. Yeah, so I think those are very much like her colors. It's not gonna, there we go. Then for some of the stems, Cactus Vineyard Silk. We have some beads, 136 and 411E. And then finally some straw silk in ripe mango. So I have no idea. I mean, I know I took pictures when I was there, but I can't remember what each color's for exactly. So hopefully from the pictures I can figure it out, but yeah, I think those are all of the ones that I have kitted. I have a few like Halloweenish canvases that I don't have kitted, but I'll do that later into the season. Here's all of it laid out, just so you can see them up against the canvas. I couldn't really hold them up against the canvas. But yeah, I think, honestly, I can't remember what's for what. I do know this Neon Rays is for this pumpkin, and I believe the straw silk was for this pumpkin, and maybe this one was the fuzzy stuff. I don't know. I guess I'll have to figure that out. I just signed off of the Bookish Stitcher Zoom. It's 10:20 and I got a lot of stitching done. The bow is done except for the darkest color, and now I'm working on the letters. You can see I got the Bookish done. So lots of progress on this one. Happy Christmas in July. Today is the day of my Stitchin' Bitch. I'm going to go to Home Goods. I don't expect to find anything Christmas related, but just going more for funsies, and then off to Trader Joe's to find some cookies and maybe like a veggie tray. We'll see. It is full code orange here. All right, didn't buy anything at the Home Goods. The only things I really liked were like bigger furniture, and I don't close on my house until the end of August, so I would have nowhere to put the pieces. Like, they were really stunning, like outdoor tables and chairs and stuff, but like where would I put it? Also, my car couldn't fit it all in my car, so nothing there. Popping over to Marshall's. I don't usually find anything at Marshall's, but every now and again, there's a diamond in the rough. All right, back from the Trader Joe's, I got some Snickerdoodles, chocolate chip cookies, raspberry stars, a little cheese tray, crackers, and this like sparkling pink lemonade. So in total spent like 30 bucks, which I think is really great for hosting a party. I was originally just gonna do a cookie tray, but now I think I'll do like half cookies, half charcuterie, all in the same tray. I have a cute little like gingerbread tray, so I think I'll use that. Now I'm gonna head over to the mall. Nordstrom is having a big sale, so my mom said they had a bunch of like home stuff, like blankets and stuff. So I want to check that out, and then there's a book at Barnes & Noble that I want. You're like, Tatum, how could you possibly want a book from Barnes & Noble? You have 5 million. Jessa Hastings came out with a new book, and everybody is like saying that it's the best thing since sliced bread. So, and I do have $5 off at Barnes & Noble, so I will be using that. Let's do it. All right, the Nordstrom has some sale signs. And then there's also a Studs right here that isn't open yet. I need it to freaking open because I got my ear pierced like 4 months ago and I haven't changed the earring yet. All right, that trip was more successful than I thought it was gonna be. I got an UGG blanket for my new house. And then I also got one for my mom because she loves an UGG blanket. So those were from the Nordstrom anniversary sale. And then I popped over to Barnes & Noble and got the new Jessa Hastings book, which I am so excited about. And yeah, successful venture. Thinking about going up to the pool and just like reading a book, so maybe I should have lunch first, but that's my plan. All right, it's 5 o'clock, the party's at 6, and a few plans changed. 2 girls can't come anymore, and it's about to rain, like pretty bad. So I think I'm gonna move the party indoors to my apartment, which means for the next hour, it's time to hide things and clean up things like the counter and yeah, prepare sweets for some guests. So that's the new plan. All right, it is post Stitch and Bitch. It's past 11 and Stitch and Bitch started at 6. We had the best time just chatting about life, girly things, Stitch gossip, all the stuff. It was amazing. Happy Saturday. Today is my mom's birthday, so Schweetz and I will be heading over there soon, but I wanted to kind of recap. I guess maybe move this over here, the lighting's better. Just kind of recap last night. We had an absolute blast. I mean, most of the way done with this little guy. So I finished the T-stitch on the background in Silk Lame braid and then just started some essentials and pepper pot on the little dude. So, I mean, almost done. And then this is so exciting. Ginny brought these little like frame locks that her and her husband have been making on the 3D printer, and her thing is like thistles. So she put a little thistle on the inside. Like, these are so freaking cool. Like I've never had anything 3D printed before, so just like even having something 3D printed is cool, but something that I use like very often is awesome. So I'm really excited about those. And we ate, you know, the Trader Joe's cookies, and everybody brought a little something, and it was honestly just so fun. So I hope once I move to host more like Stitch nights or stuff, and we also talked about maybe playing Mahjong, because there seems to be a huge crossover between the Mahjong community and Needlepoint. I've played like once or twice when I was in Nashville, so I'm not an expert by any means. I would definitely have to look up like how to start, but I know the gist, I guess. So, and I don't have like the materials yet, but I think my mom has Mahjong tiles, so when I'm over there today giving her her present, I'm gonna be like, can I see your Mahjong tiles? Hi, sweets. Do you want to say hello? Here, come here. Come here. I pick you up. Bloop. You say hi? The girls loved Schweetz. I mean, like, why wouldn't you? But Schweetz, when she meets people for the first time, she does bark a little bit. So she barked for like a few minutes each as like every person came in. But she honestly settled down really quickly, and she was giving the girls kisses, and yeah, she was fabulous. So today, giving my mom her present, which is actually a needlepoint present. So a while ago, I stitched a canvas that says "Love You." She has a scrapbook room. She's a huge scrapbooker, and the theme of the room is Valentine's Day, so it's all like pink and red stuff. So I stitched that for her, got it finished through Stitch Stash, and it's stunning. I'll try to get video of it later in her room, but yeah, so doing that today. Back from my parents' house, and I just finished stitching this little guy. So cutie. I just finished beading the little beads, and I just think they're so cute. I did T-stitch on the background, and then everything else is just basket weave. And yeah, so I need to put away all of those threads. I don't know if you can hear the local band that's playing on the plaza right now. Painful. Schweetz is not happy. There she is up on my boards, if I can zoom in properly. I still need to figure out the zooming, and I'm not very good at this. Why is it so slow? There she is, what a cutie. Happy Sunday morning. I am headed over to Starbucks and then going to the pool. Wow, this is really, there's so much humidity, jeez. My pool plans were quickly foiled. While I was walking to the Starbs, it started to rain. So I guess we're not doing that today, but I would still like to read my book. I'm actually in the middle of 3 different books at the moment, believe it or not. I am reading Nora Goes Off Script, over halfway through this one. I'm reading Great Big Beautiful Life and Winter in Paradise by Ellen Hildebrand. I'm listening to Winter in Paradise on Libby and physically reading the other 2. I haven't done a ton of reading this summer just because I've been needlepointing all the time. So I think that's why I like doing the audiobooks now, because then I can do both at once. But I would like to do some more physical reading, so I think I'll do that today. I am really going to miss living this close to the mall. It's literally a 2-minute walk. I can get my Starbucks. I can get literally anything I need. So I'm definitely gonna miss that when I move. But with that trade-off comes a lot more space. I need to start packing up my apartment at some point. I have about a month to do it, but I don't want to just like wait until the weekend before to do it all. So I was thinking of starting to box up stuff that I know I'm not going to use for the next month, like all my books, winter clothes, stuff like that, some of the baking stuff that I know I'm not going to use. So yeah, but I don't think I'm going to do that today because I'm trying to relax this weekend. I had a really nice relaxing day yesterday. I want to have another one today. Work has just been crazy busy, so when I can on the weekends, I want to relax. Yeah. I'm working on this little stocking. I decided to cover up the second dog because obviously I only have one, so I felt like Schweetz deserved a moment. So I just like continued stitching the door down, and I'm just going to like continue the pot, continue the blue there, just so there's only one dog, but I've done the white and I'm working on the red of the door now. That'll probably do the red pots. And I'm thinking for the collar, maybe do sparkles, little cyclame, maybe little fireworks. We'll see, but that's what I'm currently stitching. So yesterday, my mom sent me home with this cross stitch kit. She wants me to turn it into needlepoint, stitch it, and then we're going to frame it. My only question is, I don't know what to do about the back stitches. So my current plan is to just kind of start and see where it gets me. I kept the picture so that I could keep the colors. We'll see. I mean, it came with, you know, floss and then the Aida cloth, but since I'm gonna do needlepoint, I should throw this out. But this is just another craft that I'm gonna do. This is the end of the vlog. Thank you guys for tuning in and see you next time.